Hey there, welcome to my studio here in New York City. I'm Daniel Norton, and in this video we're going to talk a little bit about catch lights. So if you're interested in photography or being creative in general, we make videos like this about philosophy and about technique. Go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications, and let's get to it. So I've been putting up, if you haven't seen them, we'll call them contests, if you will. How did I like this? I'm showing some of the work that I've done, stuff that I don't do videos for. So, well, sometimes I do videos. And people are, guessing or giving their impression on how I may or may not have shot them. So if you haven't seen those, or take a look. And a lot of people are pretty good at it. But one recurring theme that I see is that people often start addressing the catch lights, and 65 or more % of the time, when they refer to the catch light and say, "This is how it's lit, I can see the catch light," they're actually not 100% right. Sometimes they're close, but they're not 100% right. And I think I remember being taught this when I was younger and I was first starting. People would say, "Oh, look at the magazines and look at the images you want to recreate," or stuff like that. And then look at the catch lights and it will tell you where the lights are. That's how you cheat. But remember that a catch light is a reflection of your light source off the eyeball, right? So effectively your eyes are, it's wet, right? So it's reflective. But the thing is that has to do with angle, right? Angle of incidence equals angle of reflectance, which means that you can very easily make an image of somebody without having any catch lights, or having the catch lights be maybe a little bit distorted, or you won't see all the lights. So the catch light is really only telling you part of the story. If you really want to be able to kind of look at an image and diagnose it and figure out how it was created, the main trick that I use is we look at the shadows. So shadows are going to tell you a lot of things. Shadows are going to tell you the direction of the light, right? The direction of the shadow is the opposite of the light. So if my light's up here, my shadow's there, right? If my light's over here, my shadow's here. The shadow will also tell you the size of the light relative to the subject, i.e. the hardness softness, right? Because if a light source is far away or small, it's going to create a very hard, sharp shadow. When it's really close, it's going to wrap around, right? And create a blurred, more delicate shadow. Also, you can see shadows in other parts of the images, right? You can only see the catch light in the eye, right? Which means it's not going to point out any of the lights that are in the background, any other lights that are in the scene, often not a fill card or something, unless it's really close. It's not going to see hair lights. It's not going to see any kind of other light except for the light that's in the eyes. So oftentimes when I'm doing some of what I consider my favorite light, and the light that really is unique, I'm using multiple light sources, and I'm actually lighting parts of the body with separate lights. So you wouldn't see a light that I have, like, let's say, across an arm to show a muscle detail or a tattoo, or across a piece of an outfit to make that reflect. You'd only notice that and see that if you look at the shadows. So catch lights are good. They're a beginning, right? And there's certainly a way that you can kind of look and be like, "Oh yeah, I see something reflected there." But they're given way too much credit for knowing or defining the source. Your shadows will tell you everything. They tell you if the light is hard or soft. They tell you where the light is positioned, and they'll also oftentimes tell you how many different lights there are. Don't just look at one shadow, right? Look at all the shadows. And kind of one final thing that you can consider is you can also look at the highlights that are not catch lights, right? If we look at like a shine on the forehead or on a nose, we can start to pick up not the shape of it, because obviously that can help a little bit, but the specularity, right? So we can decide whether or not this light is a diffused source or not. Because you can have a very large source that's not diffused, right? We could have like a huge silver umbrella, for instance. And that could be soft, but specular. So that will help us really define. So if we're looking at work and we want to you love an image, you want to figure out how they did it so you can create something similar, if it's not a YouTube video, look at the shadows. That's going to be the key. So hopefully this was useful. If so, and you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring the bell, do all that goodness, and I'll see you next time.